Hello, this is Mark Tucker with the next video in the series on APL components for viewers of the Dabble Lab channel. In this video, we'll learn about the TouchWrapper component. If you want to follow along in APL Ninja, look for the project link in the description. Let's go. So here in our project, we have in our main template our root container, which includes a text component. And what we want to do is we want to make this like a button. We want to be able to, when we press the text, then it's going to issue a command. In this case, we want to issue an onPress command and be able to send an event. And this would send an event from the device back up to the server saying that something was touched on the device. But if you notice that we're clicking on this and there's no event that's happening, and actually if we go up here we can look and it says that, that there's an error that I shouldn't add an additional property on press. What that means is that the text component itself doesn't support touch events. It's not touchable. So if we go over here to the Touchable Components documentation, it lets you know that the only component that's built in, so off to the side here are all the basic built-in components. So container all the way down to video are things that are built in. You'll notice there is no button component actually built in, and the only component in this list that is inherently touchable is the vector graphic, which we went over last time. And so we can issue an event a press event off of that. But for everything else, if we want to make this text button or the text component touchable, then we need to wrap it in the TouchWrapper. And that's its whole purpose. TouchWrapper is non-visual. In fact, if we were to look at the properties of TouchWrapper, it only has one property for its child item, and it doesn't do anything other than add touchability to it. So basically it wraps a component. When you touch the component that gets wrapped, then the touch wrapper is the thing that raises the event. And let's talk a little bit about that as well. So what makes something touchable are the list of events that it supports. So we're all talking about the onPress event, which is when it bundles together a pointer down followed by a pointer up. You could just do something on when somebody taps down, or just when somebody removes their finger after tapping down, or moving over top of something. So there are some additional events that you can have that happen based on it being touchable. And just also a quick review, if we go to our list of standard commands that are built in, there's lots of different things. You can start an animation. There's different things that you can do. The one that we're doing in our example here is the send event, which is sending Alexa presentation APL user event back up to the skill, and then the skill can handle that. And as you notice, even this example here is using a touch wrapper. So let's go back to our code here. So we realized that we can't just do onPress right on this text. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to go ahead and create, let's do this for right now. We're going to do a new type, which is going to be TouchWrapper, and it's going to have an item. So a TouchWrapper can only have one child, and we're going to go ahead and let's take this component here, this text component. So now the TouchWrapper is wrapping this text component, and we need to take this onPress here and move that up to the touch wrapper itself. So we're going to go ahead and add that to the end of our touch wrapper. which means we don't need this anymore. All right, so what are we missing? Obviously, we've got an error. Something about onPress. Let's take a look at what we've got here. So onPress, we've got an array, we've got the component, send event. Let's take a look in here. So we've got an item. Maybe it's this comma here. There we go. All right, so now we have this touch wrapper that has a single child, which is the text component. So now if we tap on the text, then we get this send event command that's executed, and we get to see that. So that worked. That's what we wanted to do. And let's go ahead and take a look back here. Things that we might want to use as buttons. Since there isn't any built-in button, we could, like we talked about last time, we could use the vector graphic, which already has it built in. We could use an image, and if the user tapped on the image, we could have that be like a button. Or we could use, for example, a touch wrapper that has a child, which is a frame, and that frame has its border and background set, and the one child for the frame is the text component. So we can make our own button just using these basic components and using the touch wrapper. So there's not a lot more to talk about on the touch wrapper. It's a pretty simple component to use. So in this video we learned about which built-in components are touchable, which is most of them are not, and how to make the text component or any of the other components touchable by using the touch wrapper. In the next video, we're going to look at the scroll view component. So this is more about layout and how things interact. I hope you found that this video was helpful to you. Please let me know if it was by either liking or sharing it with others. And thank you for watching.